Hi there, Omaima. Nice to see that you've submitted your first set of essays. Let's take a look and see what you wrote. The first topic is about schools and whether they should merely educate or if they should be entertaining as well. Here is what you wrote. Okay. Some people think that the main job of schools is to give academic education while others advocate for more amusing activities. This essay agrees that supplying schools with enjoyable activities will help students build self-confidence, leading to a better learning experience in addition to becoming effective members in the society. All right, that's nice. A good reason to add activities that students enjoy at schools is to help them be more confident and develop their personality. Introducing activities such as fine arts, computer programming, and business provides an interdisciplinary approach towards learning. It leads to a great boost in self-confidence and prevents boredom. Furthermore, this leads to strengthening their decision-making skills, creating a richer learning environment. For instance, research showed that students who engage regularly in sports activities tend to excel more in their academics than their counterparts. Okay, check out what you did. Your sentence starts here. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commas. And essentially this whole paragraph is just one sentence. So that isn't really effective. You need to break up your sentences. A paragraph never has less than, 3-4 sentences, okay? So you absolutely needed to break this up a little bit. Can't really do a word count, but you absolutely need to separate some of these ideas into more manageable bites. Okay, so why don't we try doing that? A good reason to add activities that students enjoy at schools is to help them be more confident and develop their personality. Full stop. Introducing activities such as fine arts, computer programming, and business provides an interdisciplinary approach towards learning. Leading to a great boost in self-confidence and preventing boredom. Full stop. Furthermore, this leads to strengthening their decision-making skills, creating a richer learning environment. For instance, full stop here. Research showed that students who engage regularly in sports activities tend to excel more in academics than their counterparts. Okay, so now that we've done that, it's better, but there's still a problem. Remember that you're supposed to be talking about entertainment. So what does entertainment mean strictly? It means amusement, it means fun, it means enjoyment. So where I feel like what you're talking about really here is just talking about multiple disciplines and kind of moving away from a strictly academic or a classically academic approach to something that is more multidisciplinary. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's entertaining because, computer programming is, well, according to many people, pretty dry. So how is that amusing? How is it entertaining? Okay, does that make sense? That just because something is not so classically academic, it doesn't mean that it is necessarily entertaining. Okay, so this is something you need to be concerned with. They want you to interpret this very literally. So again, just talking about more engaging lessons, talking about more interesting subject matter does not necessarily mean that it's entertaining. Okay? Now, another thing that I want to add here is about your main ideas. You essentially had two. You said it provides a great boost to people's self-confidence. And it prevents boredom. And then you also said it strengthens their decision-making skills. Now, you had some evidence for this second idea, but you had no evidence for the first idea about boosting self-confidence and preventing boredom. And anytime you have a main idea, you absolutely have to support it, okay? So each idea needs its own piece of support, all right? So that's another thing that I want you to keep in mind, and that's important for your task achievement. All right, so College preparation could be a daunting task and takes hard work and dedication. Electives here comes to play, providing learners with chances to be effective members in the society. Effective classes can better equip students with lifelong lessons such as typing, sewing, and cooking. All right, that's also a very, very long sentence and not appropriately combined. So let's try it again. College preparation could be a daunting task as it takes hard work and dedication. Full stop. Now, again, we're not talking about electives, but we're talking about a specific type of courses. We're talking about things, not even courses, just a methodology that provides entertainment, okay? So I want you to differentiate these two ideas, okay? Entertainment doesn't necessarily mean electives, because an elective can be a very dry, very difficult and challenging course, okay? Even though it's not required. So be careful with that. All right, so let's change this word electives. Let's try it again. So full stop here. Entertainment here, or how about this? Here, comma, entertainment provides learners with chances to be effective members in society. Full stop. This is because they can better equip students with lifelong lessons such as typing, sewing, and cooking. Okay, again, not entertainment though, all right? Not strictly academic, okay, but not entertainment. To illustrate, the National Association of College Counselors, it probably should have been capital, declare that colleges take into account the core curriculum, but they would also like to see the depth and breadth of the overall high school experience and social environment. Full stop, capital T. Thus, comma, having extracurricular activities results in having students who are more community oriented. Okay, that's fine. After we change those little grammatical mistakes. Okay, but again, it's not about entertainment. It's about a more holistic type of education, but certainly not about entertainment, so that's something we have to address. Okay, in conclusion, I believe that in order to have an outstanding learning profile and for students to be effective members in society, I think you just said that expression elsewhere, effective members in society. Here it is. Yeah, you said it again here, so try not to use the same thing. Okay. We need extracurricular activities as their benefits are undeniable. Full stop. All right, so I think we've gone into a considerable amount of detail here. For me, there were a couple of big weaknesses. The first one was with task achievement because it wasn't adequate. It wasn't appropriately developed. You were talking about a holistic type of education, but not entertainment per se. Okay, so that's the first big problem. An examiner looking at this would say that this is an off-topic response. The second problem was with some of your grammar, specifically your punctuation, had a lot of errors, especially in that first paragraph. But then there were some things that I had to correct throughout it as well. Vocabulary is good. A lot of other things were good. I mean, the grammar itself seemed pretty nice, except the punctuation was really problematic. So those are the things that I want you to correct here. And I know we have another essay, so let's take a look at that. This is the enjoyable activity with a child. Many people think that reading with children does not provide them with more with more skills than doing with them. Than doing something that they enjoy with them. I believe that promoting engaging activities alongside reading helps children in developing a wide range of skills. Full stop. In addition to that, play is a key to learning. Okay, fine. Okay, reading is an essential skill that a child needs to learn. However, for young children, play is often a full-body activity that helps them develop skills that they will need later in life. Running, dancing, climbing. Running, dancing, and climbing are activities that help foster muscle development and fine motor skills. Moreover, researchers and educators have found that play can help in developing key skills such as inquiry. Full stop here. Now, before you get into this, you need to develop this. You can't just leave it sitting there like that. You have to actually support it, okay? To illustrate, Albert Einstein remembered how playing with a compass in his childhood inspired his love of science inspired his love of science since he was curious to know how the needle works. Okay, now it's an interesting example. Okay, and so it kind of deals with this. It absolutely does not deal with this one, so you really needed to develop this because you just left it sitting there like that. And then you said skills such as inquiry. This probably could have been developed a little bit more. I mean, how did he happen to come upon the compass? Why? I mean, it's not fully developed. I think there was more you could have said. I mean, what you wrote is nice, but I think you could have gone a step further. So, I mean, tell me that he just happened to find the compass and he was playing with it and, you know, it kind of sparked his curiosity or something like that. But do go into a little more detail. All right, play is far more important than parents realize. Full stop. Young children, no comma, learn in quite different ways than adults, and imaginative play is one of the most powerful examples. Full stop. Capital. Children teach themselves to regulate their emotions and think before they act when they play. For instance, if a child is pretending to be a character from Frozen, capital F, they would like warm hugs. Full stop. In other words, they consider how the character would act in a given situation. This role-playing will enrich their learning experience, help them build social skills, and help them thrive as successful adults in personal and professional environments. Full stop. In conclusion, while reading is important, I agree that play has a fundamental role in developing children's skills and in their learning process. Okay, so let's look at this topic again. Better skills and more creativity. So you talked about better skills here. You talked about muscle development and fine motor skills, and then you also talked about inquiry. Where is there anything about creativity? You sort of address it with this role playing, but very indirectly and only if I'm really, really reaching for it, because you talk about regulating emotions and thinking before they act. You never talk about creativity. And so as you could see from the prompt, it is rather important to the IELTS people because they've separated it. They haven't included it like kind of lumped together with these other skills, but they have separated it, which means that they want you to also deal with it in a separate kind of way. So you should have addressed somewhere in your essay here, especially in this paragraph, and I think it would have been very easy to do, how role play also allows for creativity. It wouldn't have been very difficult to do. Just, you know, changing around a couple of things would have helped do this. Okay, so in conclusion, while reading is important, I agree. Yes, okay, fine. So that's my feedback here. You didn't talk about creativity, you didn't talk about imagination, and that's something you absolutely needed. The writing here was good. I liked everything you did, but you really have to be a little more cautious with your punctuation. Your grammar is nice, it's natural, it reads very well, but the problems with punctuation are really going to create a problem for your score in grammar. Okay, so I want you to be very aware of that. I want you to be careful about it. And try to kind of overcome these issues. If you're not familiar with punctuation rules, then please do look them up, either in a good advanced grammar book or online, or if you don't have access to either, we'd be happy to share some resources with you, okay? Now, let's talk about what your next steps are. Your first step is to correct these essays based on my suggestions, and then send that back to us. The second thing to do is to create an error correction list where you write down all the mistakes that you made. Next to each mistake, write down what the corrected version would be. That's a list you're going to add to with each essay correction you get back. Then, of course, the third thing you need to do is to submit another set of essays, your next set of essays. Try to do all of this within the next 24 hours or so. This way you can really apply everything you've been learning in the course, okay? So I'll let you get started on that. Go ahead. Good luck. These essays were good, especially for your first attempt, because you did a nice job with applying the template, okay? So in that respect, you did well, but there are some things that we have to work on together. Fortunately, we have a number of essays left in order for you to do that, okay? So I will wait for your next essays. I look forward to them, so good luck.